Good evening, everyone. I just want to welcome everybody to the January 12th work session for tonight's meeting. Let's please rise for this pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, adequate notice?
Roll call. Councilmember Brusher. Councilmember Coyle.
Here.
Councilmember Dima.
Here.
Councilmember Kentos.
Here.
Councilmember Patel.
Here.
Councilmember Patil.
Here.
Councilmember Shmuel. Adequate notice of this meeting as required by the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975 has been provided by the annual notice sent to the Ho News Tribune, Star Ledger, Desi Talk, and News India Times on November 17th, 2025, and posted Municipal Complex on that same date.
Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight. I'm excited to see each one of you. And for those who are here to speak on public comment, I just want to first make you aware you can speak on the comment for resolutions, but you can also speak at the end on council on open remarks. For those who are watching and have anything to say, you certainly can email me at jcoyle@edisonnj.gov or email any council member, and you can speak to the clerk for their emails. Again, good evening, everyone. This year's 2026 committee all across the countries will be participating in America's 250 celebration of the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of the United States. Tonight, Edison will kick off America's 250 Edison, a celebration of unity in Edison and pride in the United States. For months, this growing committee of township employees, historic community leaders such as Walter Stossel and many others have together planned a series of events that recognize Edison's revolutionary heritage. Events that in Edison have traditionally done so much as Memorial Day Parade and the July 4th celebration will enhance to include America's 250 celebrations at new events are being planned for all ages and all parts of the township. As a lifelong resident of Edison, I know this will be an exciting year. All of us are excited. Edison TV has been working hard, creating a series of historic minutes that will be shown on Edison TV this year, from settlements of this era in 1666 to the Edison we know today. These minutes will tell our history in a visual way. Tonight, we will premiere one of the minutes that have been filmed, the presentation by the Edison High School drama class of Life in Edison, 1776, a presentation of America's 250 flag to the township. So now, without further delay, let the celebration begin.
The Edison of 2026 is a 32 square mile, 19,000 acre municipality with 108,000 people. 250 years ago, Edison Township did not exist. During the British colonial era, what is now Edison was part of Piscataway and Woodbridge townships. This continued after independence in 1776 for nearly 100 years. Then on March 17, 1870, the western half of Woodbridge and the eastern side of Piscataway were combined to create a new township. The people considered naming this new town Metuchen Township or Washington Township, but chose Raritan Township after the river. The original settlement of Piscataway remained in Raritan and was then called Piscataway Town. In 1900, the residents of the center of Raritan Township decided they wanted their own town, and the borough of Metuchen was created. Finally, in 1905, the people across the river from New Brunswick voted to create the borough of Highland Park, and the boundaries have remained the same to this day. In 1954, a group of citizens proposed a change in the name of the township, partially because several municipalities in the state also shared the name Raritan. The name the voters selected was Edison, named of course after Thomas Alva Edison, the genius whose wizardry at Menlo Park brought the world, among other numerous inventions, the first sustainable electric light bulb and recorded sound. And that's how our town became Edison.
time, I'd like to recognize Hannah Parker, a resident from 1776.
My name is Hannah Parker, and I live in Middlesex County, New Jersey, a place many now call the crossroads of the American Revolution. Situated between New York and Philadelphia, our county has become a constant route for marching armies. British troops occupy nearby New Brunswick, using it as a supply base along the Raritan River. From there, they move through our towns, demanding food, shelter, and loyalty to the crown. The war has divided our community. Citizens battle over independence. Some support it, while others remain loyal to the king. Families and friendships have been torn apart by these choices. In 1777, the fighting came dangerously close. During the Battle of Bound Brook, British and Hessian soldiers attacked Patriot forces only miles from our homes. Later that year, during the Battle of Short Hill, British troops attempted to trap General Washington's army. We could hear cannon fire in the distance and see smoke rising beyond the fields. Still, we endure. Women manage farms and homes, while men fight, flee, or hide. Children grow up quickly, learning the true cost of war. Though fear follows us daily, many of us remain hopeful, believing that liberty, once won, will be worth every sacrifice. Thank you.
Hannah Parker. Now I'd like to recognize Joseph Runyon, a young resident from 1776.
My name is Joseph Runyon, and though I am young, the Revolutionary War has shaped my life here in Middlesex County. Even the children must do their part. On my end, I help my family by gathering messages, collecting firewood, and watching for enemy troops. Now, I have seen the British redcoats march through our roads in New Brunswick, their boots muddied from crossing the Raritan River. I have also watched Patriot militias gather quietly, waiting for the right moment to strike. Our roads are filled with wagons, soldiers, and entire families fleeing nearby battles. And at night, we would wait quietly and pray that our homes weren't searched or burned. In 1777, during the Battle of Short Hills, British forces tried once again to capture General Washington. But he escaped, proving his skill and determination. News of victories in places like Princeton, not too far from here, filled us with hope. And each battle reminds us that this land, our land, is one worth defending. And I believe history is being written right here in Middlesex County. One day, when this struggle is over, I will say that I lived not just through the revolution, but within it. My parents remind me that freedom is never free. And I dream of a future where New Jersey is not a battleground, but a free land in a free, new nation.
Thank you, Joseph Runyon, and thank you to all the residents of 1776. Great job. And from what I understand, you have a flag to present to the council. Would the council like to join me up front? The presentation. Oh, Mr. Pence. I'm gonna take Dan's. Yeah.
They all left. Probably not.
I feel bad they walked out. We would have thanked them.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah.
let's just skip that, Joe. I was gonna.
Okay,
thank them.
we'll ask Walter to have them
well,
come back here.
Yeah.
Maybe Howard, you can ask them to come back sometime between our agenda. We'll interrupt the agenda. Yeah. Bring back in.
If they're. Yeah, an encore.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I just was like, they're gone, you know. Yeah. I just want to thank the students again and the Rev 250 committee for putting this special event together. I want to thank Walter Stolschel for spearheading this presentation as well, and everybody that worked to put it together. I want to thank the mayor for his support and immediately putting forth a Rev 250 committee. I want everybody to know that we're going to be working on a resolution and a proclamation for Rev 250, as well as getting the 250 flag out front in the circle flying, as well as going to work with the council president to get one placed in here as well. So again, thank you to everybody. I just want to remind everybody this year we have a lot of Historic Society events. Both the Metuchen Edison Historic Society and Edison Township are planning a lot of events that are going to be even more patriotic. We're going to have trolley rides from here to Perth Amboy along the old route. 4th of July is going to be even more spectacular this year, as well as the Memorial Day Parade is going to be bigger and brighter. So just keep a lookout for those on the township website as well as social media. You could always go to my website, robertkentos.com. There is a Rev 250 page as well as a MES page. I'm not sure if we have that up yet, but it'll just be for this year for the Rev 250 events to get everybody to be able to come out to the events. And again, I just encourage everybody to please participate in these events this year. You know, 50 years ago, or a little over 50 years ago, a lot of our historic societies were formed back then in anticipation for the bicentennial. And since that time, a lot of these historic societies have barely held on. Most of them are still here. So now here we are at the 250th, 50 years later. So I encourage everybody to go to those events. Again, thank you to all the students and thank you to everybody who put this together. Truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Other council members want to make any remarks? Please stay.
Council President,
Yes, Councilman Patil, yes.
I'd like to thank Councilman Rob Kentos for leading tonight's celebration as we mark 258 years since the signing of Declaration on Independence. Today, our community gathers not just to look back at 1776, but to ask what those ideals means right here in our neighborhoods in 2026. As a council member, the promise made tonight is simple: to listen, to serve, and to help ensure this community is one where everyone feels seen, safe, and included. The next chapter of our history will be written by the choices we make together in our public meetings, our schools, our houses of worship, and around our kitchen tables. So this 250th anniversary, let us celebrate our progress, face our unfinished work, and renew our shared commitment to each other. Once again, thank you, Councilman Kentos, Council President Coyle, all the council members, Mayor Joshi, and the administration for making this happen tonight. Thank you.
Council President.
Yes, you're recognized.
So thank you so much, Rob, for putting this together, and especially our beginning of the council term, seeing the spectacular performance by the kids, that's wonderful. That's a great way to start. And we look forward for all the celebrations and informative events throughout the town this year. And thank you so much to all the volunteers who are helping with this.
Any other members of council?
I just want to remind everybody, I did not solely put this together. I just helped facilitate the council part of it.
Point of order, point of order. Take the credit.
That's all, but thank you again to the students.
Not going to
Appreciate
happen
it.
much. If you wait a second, Council Vice President and I have some pins to present. I have 4 for your side, and he has 3. Just be one minute, we'll come out. I'll be quick with my words. Thank you so much. I do appreciate everybody who's involved in the committee and is involved in the 250 committee and the time you put in to make this a wonderful event. We've talked about this for the last 2 months, and I also want to just recognize Walter Stolsch, who's here, who I've known since I was about 20. He saw me when I had a lot of hair on my head. I know you students are surprised, but there was a day. Bob, there was a day. But and I also want to recognize Edison Tower, Kathleen Carlucci is here, and also Bruce Diamond, who's been involved in a lot of things in Edison, including the historical stuff. So thank you very much for being here, and have a great day. Thank you again. Now we'll begin our meeting. Council members, from the administrative agenda, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Any questions or remarks in the following? Hearing none, we're going to 6, proposed ordinance amending article of boards of commissions and committees and agencies of Chapter 2, administration of the municipal code. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, second ordinance we have here is the ordinance amending the Chapter 39 land use section of 3912-15 Technical Review Committee of the Code of the Township of Edison. Any questions or comments?
Council President?
Yes, council member.
Just a question here, because this won't be a public meeting. Will those meeting minutes be documented and available on the website?
Counselor?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question. I apologize.
Will the meeting notes will be available for the public to review on the website?
Well, the meeting notes? So the way that sorry, let me get the microphone down. The way that this is being redesigned, and part of the reason why the change is going on is because the Technical Review Committee is really just that. It's a technical review of the application. Once those notes are done, that application then will go to the planning board. So yes, by that nature, then they would be publicly available. But it's really just, the purpose of this is, as I'm sure you would agree, when these applications come forward, is to try to streamline the process by the time it gets down there. So, and keeping them open from a meeting perspective really made that very difficult. So
Understood. As long as, meeting minutes are available for public to review, so everyone knows what the outcome was of the technical review.
yeah, the technical review, at the conclusion of it, they're going to make a recommendation to the planning board, and that recommendation will be public.
Public. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on the ordinance? Hearing none, moving to, from the business administrator, A through U. Any questions or comments from the business administrator, A through U?
Council President?
Yes, Council
I'm really happy to see that, we have a lot many choices, lot many vendors in pretty much every single professional service contract that is listed here. So happy to see the change. Thank you.
Hearing no other questions or comments, moving to, from the Department of Finance, A through C. Any question or comment? A through E, I'm sorry, A through E. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, moving to the Department of Health, A. Any questions on A? Hearing no questions or comments, moving to the Department of Planning and Engineering, A through J. Hearing no questions or comments, moving to the Department of Public Works. We have A only. Hearing no questions or comments, moving to the oral petition and remarks. This meeting is open to the public. If anybody has questions, please come to the microphone or raise your hand. Akhtar?
Before my time starts, can I give you guys something to hand out?
Name and address.
Dr. Nasser, Pleasant Avenue. So what you guys are going to be getting before you is going to be a synopsis of what I'm saying, different questions that are there, because I'm going to rattle off a lot of questions about a certain property. Council President, I appreciate that you have given your email address at the start of each meeting, and I appreciate that you answered my email within 2 minutes after I sent it, so I appreciate that.
2 long words, but I did it.
You did. So I'm here tonight because I need answers urgently. I have only about 10 days to decide whether or not to challenge the Planning Board's December 15 approval of 1039 Amboy Avenue. All my points that requires me to address the council as a whole body today, because OPMA will not allow me to meet with you guys separately to talk to you as a whole big group. As you know, the application for 1039 Amboy Avenue was rejected by the Planning Board and recently remanded from the Superior Court due to Ordinance.2233-2024, something that former Councilman Pointer worked together with, and this council approved as well. So it was done to ensure the consistency with the master plan, the ARP, form-based code. It discussed how all cars should be hidden behind a building or a liner from Amboy Avenue, but it also made parking more lenient. So my questions and concerns. 1, the MLUL compliance. That ordinance that I spoke about does relax parking requirements, but it, again, requires cars to be concealed so that on Amboy Avenue you cannot see those cars, but the existing plan does not share that value. There are violations, I believe, of the cantilever. There is no first floor, so therefore you can see right through. There was no variance that was put onto this application for that. So it doesn't make sense to me how that was done. So my question for you is this. If you are not compliant to the full ordinance, isn't a variance required for each new thing, or I'll call it a violation? Again, no variance was asked for this application. So according to the ordinance that I spoke about, there should be, again, a minimal liner so that you can't see the cars from Amboy Avenue, so hopefully I can get an answer about that too. Another thing I want to talk about was angled parking on Cabot Avenue. In our town ordinance, section 7-18 does not list this street as to have angled parking, yet it is permitted and was allowed. And I've asked the applicant to provide evidence that these locations did exist, but they never did. Also, they do not comply by the code of RSIS, where they're supposed to be 18 feet long, but they are not. They are 1 foot short. So then my next question is, does grandfathering end when does grandfathering end to an application or to some existing property? And when do we comply to the RSIS and the ADA of 2026? Also, I have a question, I never really understood this. Is Cabot Avenue defined as a front yard? If so, then there is no parking that's supposed to be allowed there, so the issue that I'm bringing to your attention is not something that we have to worry about. Another issue that I have is about sidewalks and student safety. Ordinance O.138-216 prohibits sidewalk waivers within 2 miles of a school. This property is 0.4 miles away from a school, so therefore I'm not sure how that was allowed. That's also by New Jersey code. Can the planning board waive safety requirements when ordinance and state law prohibit it? I brought up the sidewalk concern multiple times, but it has never been addressed. Another issue was about ADA compliance on the right-of-way. The New Jersey law and ordinances by Edison state that there should be a sidewalk within that area from the curb to the other area. I've emailed the ADA compliance officer. The public right-of-way, again, I spoke about that too. Should boards confirm legal access before approval? I'm asking that I get some of the answers that I emailed to you and the lawyer. I see that I'm running out of time. I also think that we need a public advocate because then I would not have to use all my time for this issue.
Your time's up. Octor, just stay for a moment. I just want to consult with our counselor for a second here. Is this more of a planning board? I guess the question I have to our counselor is, first, I appreciate all the work you've done. You've done a lot of work, and I have some of these same questions. It's just a matter, and I think I definitely refer this to the BA. It's a deep dive tonight to get into this in detail, and I think you've done a great job laying out your questions. I don't think anybody here is an expert on the planning end of this, but I'm just curious whether or not some of these questions should be directed to the attorney for that board. And I also, since you don't have representation today, they probably could answer some of your questions as a resident. Once you have representation, that day will be over. So I'm just curious where you stand to get these answers so you can properly decide on making what decision. That's the angle I think you're looking to adjust to. So I guess first to my counselor here, what should he be within our division or a different law division?
So the answer is it sort of depends, and I know that I gave this sort of answer the last time you were here too, so I apologize, but it's kind of the standard lawyer answer. These are interesting questions. I don't have the application in front of me. I don't really have any of the details in front of me, so it's hard for me to give you a definitive answer as to the yay or nay to this or where the appropriate place to go is. And I'm hesitant to try only because you prefaced it with you're trying to make a decision, and I can't provide for you legal advice as to how you should handle a situation that's pertinent to you when it comes to exploring your own rights. I just, that's not something I'm able to do. I am happy to take a look at some of these things and then to do a deeper dive into the application that went. I'm not familiar with the application as it stands. So if it's all right with you, I'd like an opportunity to just read this. I think we're back here on Wednesday. So it'll at least give me some opportunity to kind of go through to see where the appropriate place to go is on these things and kind of get an idea as to what's happening. Does that work for you?
Can I meet with you after just to go? I have a lot of paperwork here too, just to show.
Yeah, you're after the meeting. Well, we could talk offline. You're happy to give me anything that you want to give me. I'm happy to review all of it. I don't have an immediate answer based on what's going on, and I know that you probably have a lot of the details. Unfortunately, I just don't have any, and I'm not comfortable giving you legal advice with more hypothetical when these are more specific. So I just want to make sure I'm getting you the right answers.
Thank you.
And Octor, just, first again, you did a great job. Second, part of this is almost like a deposition of the questions you've asked. And I just don't know what position that puts the township in. And some of these questions, again, I know you may not have been prepared that evening, and who would be prepared when an application comes up so fast? But some of these questions would have been better answered that night because your opportunities would be your outcomes would be different.
Those questions.
I'm not familiar with which body you should speak to, but I would definitely pass this to the administration to look at. And we're taking this serious. I just don't know whether or not this attorney is the right check. But great job on the work. I hope I was helpful. And your question on public advocate, of course, this council will look into that. As you know, I don't support the public advocate for a few reasons, public advocate, but I do appreciate you still trying to make that accomplishment. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other members, residents that'd like to speak? Sure.
Anthony Diamond, Edison. I don't see the police chief here today. I just wanted to, but I wanted to say a real special thank you to him. Not getting into specifics, but there was a concern of mine last week, and he absolutely met that concern, and I couldn't be more happier. And for the response, so I really do mean it. I would say it to him, but he's not here tonight.
You can thank him twice. I'm sure he'll be okay with that.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would. Maybe I'll call him tomorrow, actually. So, but and to the officers involved. So I couldn't. So thank you to him. And I guess the second thing would be is one recommendation for the upcoming year would be Council President to allow at least a back and forth. Minutes, I'm agreement with you. I think on the minutes, but I think a back and forth it solves a lot of the. It just some things just need to be talked out, and I think 99% of the people here that come up and speak, it's not going to be a problem. There's just some things, whether or not it's through a council person or to the BA or whatever whatever needs to be discussed. Usually, that's how things are, I think, solved. I think to take all the questions, write them down, and then to go that way. I think it's just not natural. It's just not a natural flow. So I think to come up here and just to allow just that back and forth would probably be best. But that's just one man's opinion. So thank you, Council President.
Thank you for your comments, and I will share that comment with the council. Thank you. Anybody else? Please.
Thank you. Am I recognized?
Yes.
Thank you. He's doing the same thing he did the last time he was council president. Goes to the bathroom. I guess it's so Sam Joshi doesn't hold him accountable for not throwing me out. Well, at least I don't have to pretend Kentos like I'm looking for something on the paperwork. Through the chair to council, oh, Kentos is the chair, actually. You think they're going to make a resolution that we can't play music at the podium during our time?
I would hope not.
Not neither. Oh. If your YouTube is monetized, it's going to demonetize today's channel. You won't be able to profit off today's video. It's all right. Wednesday, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT about Councilman Coyle, and I'll come back with the results.
Was that Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath?
Black Sabbath. There you go. It's all right. You're going to respect the music. You're going to respect the people being silent. But I know you won't be able to respect when I come back on Wednesday and have opinions and my own perception. So I'll be back for Wednesday.
Thank you for your comments. Any other members of the public? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Motion to close the public portion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Okay, points of light. Clerks.
Yeah, we're sponsored at the Association.
The Middlesex County Clerks Association is sponsoring a blood drive on Thursday, January 15th in the council chambers from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. See the flyer on the website to sign up. Monday, January 19th, the township's office will be closed in celebration of Martin Luther King's birthday. Martin Luther King celebration in service on January 20th at the Miniville, open to the public 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Any other points of light from council members? Hearing none, we're going to go to the discussion items. I'll go from my left. Councilman A.J. Patil.
None at this time.
Councilmember Pierre Patel.
None.
Council Vice President Rob Cantos.
None at this time.
Councilmember Councilwoman Kathleen Dema.
None at this time.
Okay, thank you. Well, I thank everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you for the residents who've come out to make public comment. Thank you to the students who've put together this wonderful celebration for the 250. Thank you for the administration for participating in putting this together. For any residents who are watching us now and have any public comments, please reach out to me personally at our council president email at jcoyle@edisonnj.gov. That's jcoyle@edisonnj.gov. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.